Are you curious about why we justify our choices even when we have doubts? If you love learning about psychology, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more insights. Imagine this. You're at the shops, and you see a cool new gadget. It's sleek, it's shiny, and it promises to make your life easier in ways you hadn't even considered before. But then you look at the price tag. It's pricey, way more than you usually spend on something like this. You hesitate, feeling a mix of excitement and doubt. Just then, a salesperson approaches. They're really good at their job, and they start telling you all the amazing features of this gadget. You find yourself nodding along, making excuses in your head. It will help me get more done, you think. I'll be more productive, more efficient. You start to believe that this gadget is not just a want, but a need. Or maybe you think, I deserve a treat, I've been working hard, and I deserve something nice. Does that sound familiar? It's a common scenario. This is called choice justification. It's a psychological phenomenon where we convince ourselves that our choices are the right ones, even when we have doubts. We create reasons to support our decisions, to make ourselves feel better about them. We convince ourselves our choices are good, even when we have doubts. This isn't just about impulse buys or expensive gadgets. Choice justification happens in many areas of our lives. From the small decisions we make every day to the big, life-changing ones, choice justification is a big deal. It affects how we think and what we do in huge ways. It shapes our behavior, our relationships, and even our self-esteem. We want to believe that we are making the best choices, and we go to great lengths to defend them. It's like we want to defend our choices, even when we're proven wrong. We argue, we rationalize, and we stick to our guns. We do this to protect our pride and stick to what we believe. It's a fascinating aspect of human psychology, and it shows just how complex our minds really are. Choice justification comes from something called cognitive dissonance. This psychological phenomenon occurs when we experience a conflict between our beliefs, values, or attitudes, and our actions or decisions. It's like a mental tug-of-war, pulling us in different directions. This is that yucky feeling you get when you have two opposite ideas in your head, creating a sense of discomfort and unease. It's as if your mind is at odds with itself, struggling to find a balance. Or when you do something that goes against your values. Imagine the guilt and regret that follow actions that contradict your core beliefs. Think of someone who smokes, even though they know it's bad for them. They might feel a constant internal struggle, knowing the health risks but continuing the habit. Or someone stuck in a job they hate. Every day they face the dissonance between their need for financial stability and their desire for job satisfaction. Dissonance is like an itch you can't scratch. It's a persistent nagging feeling that something isn't right, and it can be incredibly uncomfortable. It makes us want to get rid of that bad feeling. We become determined to resolve the conflict and restore mental harmony. We do this by making excuses for our choices, rationalizing our actions to make them seem more acceptable to ourselves and others. Pretending the bad parts aren't so bad, downplaying the negative aspects to reduce the discomfort we feel, or even changing what we believe entirely. Sometimes we alter our beliefs to align with our actions, convincing ourselves that our choices were right all along. The more important a decision is to us, the stronger the bad feeling and the more we need to justify it. Major life choices like career changes or relationship decisions often bring about intense cognitive dissonance, pushing us to find ways to alleviate the mental strain. It's amazing how small choices can turn into big commitments and strong beliefs. Every choice, even tiny ones, needs a reason. We make up stories to explain what we do, and these stories become part of who we think we are. This is like the foot in the door trick. If you agree to a small request, you're more likely to agree to a bigger one later. Each yes makes us more committed and makes it harder to say no. Think of it like a slippery slope of excuses. Choice justification is everywhere, from what we buy to who we vote for. Ever bought something you didn't need and then told yourself you loved it? That's choice justification. In relationships, we might stay in bad situations by only remembering the good times or being scared of being alone. In politics, we look for information that agrees with what we already believe and ignore anything that doesn't. This makes our beliefs even stronger and makes us less likely to change our minds. It's funny, but we feel a bigger need to justify our choices when we think other people are watching. This phenomenon is deeply rooted in our social nature. We are inherently social creatures, and the opinions of others can significantly influence our behavior. When we know someone is observing us, we tend to be more cautious and deliberate in our actions. This is because we want to be perceived positively and avoid criticism or judgment. We're more likely to stick with a decision if we've had to explain it to someone. This act of verbalizing our choices makes them more concrete and real. It also creates a sense of commitment and accountability. When we share our decisions with others, we are not just making a choice for ourselves but also for those who are aware of it. This external validation can be a powerful motivator to follow through. That's why saying your goals out loud can be really helpful. By articulating our goals, we are not only clarifying them for ourselves but also inviting others to hold us accountable. This can be especially useful in achieving long-term objectives. When others know about our goals, they can offer support, encouragement, and even constructive criticism, all of which can help us stay on track. Knowing others are watching can keep us on track. This sense of being observed can provide the extra push we need to stay focused and motivated. It can also create a sense of community and shared purpose as we are not alone in our journey. The presence of others can serve as a reminder of our commitments and the reasons behind our choices. But sometimes, it can make it hard to make any decision at all, especially when there are lots of choices. The pressure of being observed can lead to analysis paralysis, where we overthink and second-guess every option. This can be particularly challenging in situations with high stakes or numerous alternatives. The fear of making the wrong choice can be paralyzing, causing us to delay or avoid decisions altogether. The fear of making a bad choice and having to explain it can be too much. This anxiety can stem from a desire to meet expectations and avoid disappointment. The thought of having to justify a poor decision can be daunting, leading to stress and indecision. It's important to recognize this fear and find ways to manage it, such as breaking down decisions into smaller, more manageable steps. This is where having a plan for making decisions and asking trusted friends or family for advice can be helpful. By creating a structured approach to decision-making, we can reduce the pressure and uncertainty. Consulting with trusted individuals can provide valuable perspectives and insights, helping us to make more informed choices. Their support can also alleviate some of the anxiety associated with accountability, making the process more manageable and less overwhelming. The good news is that we're not stuck with these biases. By understanding how choice justification works, we can make better decisions. Start by questioning what you believe. When you're making excuses, ask yourself, am I just trying to justify a bad decision? Be open to new ideas and see mistakes as chances to learn. Surround yourself with people who challenge you and help you grow. Remember, changing your mind is a good thing, not a bad thing. By not needing to be right all the time, we open ourselves up to new things and a happier life. If you enjoy learning about psychology, subscribe to our channel for more insights and tips.